All right, Stephen Lewis here with you, as heard on the Mike King Biz Radio Network and ESPN Richmond. Welcome to Virginia Sports Exchange, where sports and business intersect. Virginia Sports Exchange is a radio show and podcast where we discuss the dynamics of sports and opportunities it creates economically for individuals in our region, interviewing those with multiple roles in athletics. I'm your host, Stephen Lewis. Big thanks to the voice of RVA Business Media, Mike King, and show creator Jonathan Johnson for the platform. Follow us on IG at VA Sports Exchange and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Virginia Sports Exchange, to stay locked in with us. Today's show is sponsored by KR Scholars, a nonprofit dedicated to empowering current and future HBCU scholars through scholarships, college access, financial education, and workforce readiness, created by HBCU alumni Rufus and Kristen Johnson. KR Scholars supports students from under-resourced communities with the guidance and opportunities they need to succeed through three programs: HBCU Money Masters, focused on financial literacy; HBCU Campus to Career, locked in on workforce readiness; and HBCU Bridge program, which is currently offering free waivers for up to 50 plus HBCUs through their HBCU Bridge program. Visit www.krscholars.com, www.krscholars.com, and connect on social at KR Scholars. All donations are tax deductible. You see on my shirt here, help us escape the student loan debt. This program is also sponsored by 6335 Restaurant, 6335, where great food meets great vibes. Call 804-728-1768 for more information. That's 804-728-1768, 6335 Restaurant. We are thrilled to have Emmy award-winning sports anchor Sean Robertson, my man, in the building, CBS6 sports anchor, among other things. Mr. Robertson, how are you, sir? How things going?
I'm good. How are you? This feels different. This feels weird.
Yeah, that's right.
You're asking the questions.
I'm asking you the questions this time. Switch it up on you.
Yeah, let me get all focused and ready. All right. What's the first one?
The first one, man, HBCU grad. I'm Virginia Union.
Yes.
You're Virginia State. We're going to bury the hatchet right now for this next 30
Absolutely.
minutes. I know we always usually go back and forth.
Absolutely. It's all love. It's all love.
That's all love. As KR Scholars is one of our sponsors with HBCU, just talk about your HBCU, historically backed colleges and universities.
Absolutely.
For those that may not know. Just talk about your experience at VSU, when you graduated, not trying to date you too much and all that kind of stuff.
It's done. Class of 99. I walked in 99. Back then, we did not have a December commencement. So I was actually, I completed my credits in that December of 98, but we walked Mother's Day weekend, class of 99.
There you go.
I had a great experience at Virginia State. I actually started at Richard Bland, was there for 2 years in a semester. Yeah, went there for 2 years in a semester and then transferred to Virginia State once I completed my requirements at Bland. Yeah. I loved it. I mean, maybe the only thing I wish maybe you look back, maybe you stay on campus and you really get that.
I didn't stay on
experience,
campus either,
but I didn't.
That's funny.
I made the commute back and forth, but I mean, just the opportunity of working in athletics, working with, at that time, I was working with Greg Goings, who was a sports information director at there, also an alum. Big shout out to him. Alfreda Goff was the athletic director, and all the coaches that were there during that time. I started coaching or working with Coach Lou Anderson, late great Lou Anderson.
Oh, man.
Bertha Cummins, who was there at coaching women's basketball. Ralph Trainum, God rest his soul. He was coaching men's basketball at that time. So from working with athletics and working with the Virginia Statesman, because I did a little newspaper work for a year, and then working with Greg as an intern, and was kind of like, I just wanted that experience. I wanted to be in that athletic field some way. Then that pivoted into working with the radio station at our campus radio station, WVST 91.3, The Source.
Yes, sir.
2,500, maybe 5,000 watts now on the FM dial. And so I started working there as an intern. That eventually became like work study.
Okay.
Then that became full-time hourly. Then in 2001, I became their first full-time sports director of the radio station. So from there, it then made another pivot to Channel 6, which was in August of 2008. And then I've been at Channel 6 since then.
Ever since. 17 years now at CBS?
Yeah. We count the freelance here.
Yeah, okay.
So it's 18. I freelanced with them probably that November of 2007, really getting, they needed some more hands for Final Score Friday.
Yep.
that gave me the opportunity to get my foot in the door. The weekend person at the time was juggling multiple things along with being the weekend anchor. He decided to make his pivot and go directly to radio, strictly with radio. They needed that person, and basically I was there. The news director at the time basically offered me the job like within 15 minutes of me about to go on air.
Yeah.
I eventually took it after talking about it and then, discussing it with family. And so from that November of 2007 was freelance to the present. So going on. 18.
Can you talk about how, especially in sports media, how that's wild that you were able to stay in one area and get a full-time gig to be able to take, like, usually you got to go to Timbuktu here or there to be able to come back
and
to
do
a
it
market like this.
And do it from a collegiate radio station, because we had a sports show. We had a weekly sports show that we did, the Trojan Sports Review. But it's taped. We probably had, counting the talent, 4 people doing the show, really. No floor director. The cameras were stationary. Our director, Jerry Crawford, and the assistant director, Tisha Harvell, they were basically in the control room, and it was just me, James Udell, late James Udell. We were doing the show in the studio, and that was it. That was, we basically, that allowed me to build rundowns, edit, shoot. Everything that I do at Channel 6, the foundation was built.
You did it at VSU.
At VSU. We shot our own stuff. We did our stand-ups. One shot the camera, the other did the stand-up, vice versa. We did packages, whether it was game packages, feature previews of athletes, coaches. So everything I did at 6, I do currently at 6, we did at State. So that was my foot in the door. And they kind of saw that, it didn't look like a collegiate presentation. It looked professional. And like I said, just having that opportunity and having that experience, and I knew Lane. Our paths crossed at another radio station. So he knew me, I knew him, and I'm assuming he may have seen some of the stuff. And he liked it, and the adjustment was different because it's not like a tape where we make a mistake. You got to go back.
Hey, we lie.
It's different with it's different with doing a live sportscast and doing a live broadcast. Broadcast, you can mess up and you just flow because nobody's going to see you. Or the mistake that you make as far as whether the wrong video was in the, you got the right sheet, but the highlight doesn't match. In basketball or football, you may have made a mistake with a name. Oh, they can go, they gonna go with what you say because they can't see it. They're going on your every word. So you could say this guy made a catch when it was somebody else, but you could keep it on that play and then make the correction if he makes another catch. Every mistake is going to be seen and magnified 10 times over. That was a big adjustment. But just doing it, getting the reps and doing that and having, I guess, the trust from him that, hey, I'm not going to have to, be over top of you and hover you. You've done this stuff. So it's almost like second nature. So I wouldn't trade the experience at State for nothing in the world. Because I tell everybody, it's like that opportunity at 6 would have never happened had I not did what I did at State.
VSU Wall of Fame,
2022, which was a shock.
There we go. Talk about that.
That was a shock.
Crazy.
I had worked there for a long time, and we did a lot of great stuff together, working with radio station in conjunction with athletics, and I didn't tell it to Lane or tell it to the people at 6, but when you're in the booth, you kind of you'll see who's there, who's not there. And so when I left, it wasn't like I wanted to turn my back on State. I didn't want to turn my back on Union, even though, we had that respect, but it was like that respect from a distance. I want y'all to do well, but don't do it against State.
Don't do too well.
I like, Coach Robbins, much respect for him, but, I couldn't stand him. When Freedom Classics and stuff like that. But that relationship has grown closer. Since I've been at 6, because they understand, hey, you do so much for HBCUs. You put that positive light on us. You don't turn your back. You give us that platform to show what we can do. Even though you're a state grad,
yes,
you still get love. And I tell them that, I was like, I'll root for any HBCU
for sure
until you play for Virginia
that's
State.
right.
And then I gotta toe that
I gotta
line.
get
You know,
back.
I got the
I
orange
gotta
and
get
blue
back.
love,
That's right.
but I'm gonna show that. I'm gonna show that respect if they play well and win.
Yeah,
They get that. But if you guys win, I'm not gonna say, oh, you get one play and the highlight and everything else is on state.
for sure.
But yeah, I didn't want to be that. I didn't want to be the anchor just to say on a Saturday we're gonna focus solely on UVA and Tech and Richmond. And at that time, JMU was still FCS and William and Mary. So, I mean, we have 3 really good, strong, smaller colleges and universities in our area, State, Union, and also Randolph-Macon.
Yes.
They deserve as much attention as the big boys do.
For sure.
And sometimes their success is better and stronger than, UVA and Tech and Richmond at the time.
Yes.
And VCU, for basketball, same thing. They'll go to conference championships. Union has won a national championship before. They were the only school in the state before Virginia won it that had won a national championship. So they deserve the attention as a UVA or as a Tech. I mean, they're right down the street. There's no reason why we can't go to Marco or we couldn't go to Hovey or you can't go to State. So yeah, I wanted to make that a point that, you guys are going to get that attention. You just got to help me out.
Yeah.
And I think that has come to fruition. And then I got it was somebody tapped me on the shoulder. It was actually the SID at the time that was working there. I was at a basketball game and she said, I want you to, remain quiet, keep your game face on, but you're going to go in the Wall of Fame. And I'm like, you're lying.
Yeah.
And she was like, no, they made the vote. And they said, based on what you had done here in promoting athletics and what you continue to do at 6, promoting our brand, they was like, yeah, you're going to go in. She said, but Peggy, before she passed, she said, she's going to call you. She's going to email you. You have to act surprised when she tell you. Okay. I'm like, okay. I was like, all right. And so that happened that night. I cried like a baby. I told myself I cried because my family was there.
Yeah.
Some friends that came that I had went to school with came. Family who they don't get the opportunity to kind of be with us in that in that setting. And then my son was there. And my wife. And so I was like, I had my speech all written. I'm like, oh, we're gonna be good. I'm like, I had to host it anyway. So I'm like, this is gonna be fine. And as soon as I saw my mom and she was like crying, I'm like, oh man.
That's it. Throw the script away.
I was done.
Throw the script away.
I was done. And to this day I haven't seen that speech. Lane was there that night. He recorded. He posted it on YouTube, and to this day I haven't seen it. I'm like, I don't want to see myself cry like a baby. But yeah, it was like that was a shocking night because I didn't think I was gonna be in. I was just, hey, I'll do my part in promoting the brand. But when they said that and you get the plaque and you kind of look at it, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a cool night.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Well deserved.
Appreciate it.
Kind of mentioned a little bit what I wanted to get to. How in the world the magic of TV, right? You say I'm at Hovey, I'm over at Barco, I'm at VCU. Let me go get this high school game.
Yeah.
I know it's a lot into it, but try to briefly go through like how in the world you guys get all of that video, you get it in on time, you're able to kind of tell a story when it gets to 11 o'clock or 6 o'clock news.
Well, one of the positives, one of the few positives with COVID was the ability to allow each photographer that we have or are able to help us out on Final Score Friday. They each have their own individual laptop. And so instead of them having to rush back to the station and find what we used to call it edit bay to upload all of their video and edit there, you could either edit at the game in the parking lot, or you could go home and then upload what you needed to upload for the highlights. Because before, everybody essentially had to come back to a certain more times than not. Everybody had to come back to the studio. They had to upload on a desktop. We had those card readers, those big, box card readers. Upload your video clips, and then you edit it in the studio. So if you're running a little late, it could be really tight.
Yeah.
But when COVID hit, our our ownership group decided, hey, look, if we can't be in the building and it still has, this work still has to be done, just do it from home. Do it at your location.
Mm-hmm.
So we all have our laptops. We don't have to share. That was the other thing. I think when me and Lane were working together, at first, we basically shared.
What laptop?
Yeah, we had to share a laptop. We had to share a laptop.
Changed, man.
A desk. Yeah, we had to.
Goodness.
Did we have to share a desktop too? We may have had two when I first got there.
Okay.
No, yeah, because we each had a cubicle. We each had our own cubicle, so we did have our own separate desktop. But we did, I think, have to share a edit bay.
Yeah.
At first, had to share a car. Lane would have it during the week. I would have it during the weekend. He could take it home if necessary. I could take it home once, and then
Man.
Oh yeah,
man.
But with COVID, everybody could essentially take their time in getting it in, knowing that hey, if you got the strong Wi-Fi, you can send it directly into our rundown.
Yeah.
And so it's not as hectic to a certain degree. It can be, especially if you go like one night I was at Dinwiddie. That was our game of the week. And the game ended at right around 10, counting the posts, getting the sound from the posts.
Yep.
So please don't do this if you're listening, for those that want to get into the business. So what I did was, because the traffic was a little, was deep, and I knew it was actually the Matoaka game, the last game of the year against Matoaka in 24, when they were undefeated and Dinwiddie had one loss.
Gotcha.
So I knew what clips I wanted to run, even though it was a bunch of touchdowns. I think it was like 42. It was like a 42. It was a shootout.
Yeah.
So I knew I just needed 5 clips. So I just, while I was in the line, we just dropped those 5 clips in the timeline. And as the traffic started to slowly make a crawl, I slowly, took my foot off the gas a little bit, and it kind of like, like a crawl, like a duck crawl.
Yeah.
And then I was editing the soundbite from Coach Mills as I was doing that. So basically, I'm driving as I'm editing. I'm not supposed to, but I'm like,
doing that. Yep.
I knew I only had about an hour, and it's going to be about that time, roughly, without traffic.
Every few seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as that's going on, I'm leaving what we call the pit down in Dinwiddie so that the Wi-Fi signal should be stronger. So again, another thing, WeTransfer. I wish I had some stock in it.
Yes.
You just send that to WeTransfer, and I sent it directly. I think I sent it to him. I sent it to Lane, so he could then put it in the rundown. And so while that's going on, as I'm driving, that wheel is going. 25, 30, 35. I'm like, okay, we're good. We're good. As long as he gets it before he gets on set, we got it. Whether he has to read the highlights or I can run in and do it. So at 11 o'clock, I pulled in the parking lot. It took I think it was about I made it a 45-minute drive.
Okay.
And then I get into the office, and he looks at me and he was like, did you go home first before you came here? I was like, no, why? He was like, you got it all in and it was everything like that. And Dinwiddie's a hike.
Yeah.
I was like, nah. I said, I came from Dinwiddie straight here. He was like, well, how did you get the video in that quick? I said, do you really want to know? He was like, yeah, tell me. I told him that story. He was like, wow. He was like, I was like, the benefit of the traffic jam.
Yeah.
If there's no traffic jam, now it's a little tighter.
For sure.
Or you do have to basically sit, edit it, and then drive, and then you take your chance on if there's traffic on 95, you make a shortcut. But yeah, things like that. Yeah. But the advent of COVID and allowing us to have our own laptop, basically our mobile editing bay.
Yes.
We don't have that. I mean,
made it easy.
Yeah. I mean, you could be looking at, I don't stay for that whole game. I stay for a half.
Right.
To make sure that video is aired. If it's a great finish, you miss it.
Yeah.
With that, you stay for the whole game. You get the sound from the winning coach who just won a district title. He got the number 1 seed with that win. Oh, we got everything we needed and the post, and it's in time. So yeah, that was the COVID. That aspect of COVID, like I said, everybody having that Wi-Fi signal that was a blessing in disguise, because a lot of that video we probably don't get and we don't air because we had to be back at the studio by a certain time to make sure that video is uploaded and it airs, whether it's a half or 2.5 quarters. But Dinwiddie, we wouldn't have probably made that a game of the week.
Right.
Because we didn't.
You wouldn't have been able to get it.
We wouldn't have been able to get it. Yeah.
Final score Friday.
Yeah.
How many years now? 30, 31?
This was our 31st season. Lane has been for every season. I think he's missed. Crazy. He told me like maybe 3 or 4 shows.
Wow.
This was my 18th season, because I started in 2008, and I don't think I've missed a show.
That's awesome.
And that's including the birth of my son.
That's awesome.
He was born on a Wednesday. I went back and did the show that Friday because he was released. We brought him home the next day. Yeah. He was born on the 25th, born on a Wednesday the 25th, had the bracelet still on my wrist on the 27th, and we brought him home on the 28th. So it was like, why are you not at the hospital? I'm like, he can't be released until tomorrow.
I'll be back. He'll be there. I'll be back.
Yeah. And Stacey was like, well, you can't do anything here.
Right.
So
go in and do it.
Go and do the show. So, yeah.
So we love it. Everybody loves the show. I've got now technology, right? YouTube TV, I got to record it.
Yes.
Boom, I pop it up the next morning. I can watch it. Even as a player as well. What about basketball, man? Is it because it's so much? Because football is like appointment TV. We know it's the number one, sport and all that for US. It's on that Friday. It's on that Saturday, but
we hear that. We've heard that a lot.
Okay, yeah,
we've heard that a lot. And what Lane has said years ago, before, the referee shortage, where you had to play now on Thursdays, was that football was a once a week sport.
Correct.
So you could get every game you needed that week.
Give everybody love.
Yes. And there's no issue.
Yes.
With basketball, as you know, you can be playing 2-3 times a week.
Yes.
So if you have we say, final score hoops or whatever, whatever you want to call it, what about those games on Tuesday? What about those games on Wednesday? Do you not show them? Do you show them?
Yeah.
You only have 15 minutes. How are you going to do it?
What do you cover?
And then the other aspect will be the women.
Yes.
If you show the guys,
7.5 for the guys, got to be 7.5 for the ladies.
And the women don't play on Friday. The girls would play Thursday, Wednesday.
Yeah.
So it's like then the equity comes into play. And if they're playing a day or two early, will the audience be dedicated to watch that, knowing the result? I mean, you knew the result for football, but you want to see it.
Yes.
And before social media, if I'm in Dinwiddie,
nobody knows.
And I want to see
nobody knows.
And I wanted to see, if I'm a coach, let's say if they were in AAA and I wanted to see what Hanover was doing for playoff purposes.
Yep.
If I don't have social media, your only way you were going to find out was TV.
That's right.
Now with social media, everybody's going to know the result instantly. So it's like, what will be the cutoff? Like, okay, we show Tuesday, we show Wednesday, Saturday, Friday. Do we just show Friday? We show the highlights, during the week as we get them. It's a delicate situation because you do need to show the women.
Yes.
But if they don't play on Friday, then it's like, well, how come you didn't show the girls?
Yeah.
The other thing would be the time.
Yes.
If the girls varsity plays at 6 and we have a 6 p.m. newscast and they have to compete with VCU, Richmond, the small, state, Union,
basketball. Macon. It's just so much basketball.
That's the problem.
So much basketball.
He was, to eliminate the brushback. We don't. I mean, we still, on Fridays, we will dedicate, basically that 3 minutes or 3.5 we will get to high school, but it's not the 15 minutes. I mean, we probably could get the sponsorship and I think people would watch, but, would we get that pushback from a family? Yes. My girls team, our girls team is doing really well. We're undefeated.
Right.
We're not getting any attention.
Yes.
But we showed it on, the night that you played. how come it didn't show on Friday?
Because you played on a different day.
We got 15, 14, 15 games. I mean, I got that from football. We had I shouldn't tell the story, but I'm gonna say it anyway. A guy who works in my alma mater at Petersburg complained that we didn't show Petersburg on a Friday night. Ironically, we showed it Thursday because they played Thursday.
Got you.
We had somebody shoot the game and we showed the highlights on Thursday. But because we didn't show it on Friday, his thing was
that's the appointment TV. They're
and that's what he was saying.
in.
Like, I found it very ironic that, called us out, called the other station that does sports, called Channel 8. How come they, when we're doing well, we can't get anybody to cover? Yes. So I said, and I was probably, I think it was a day it rained on a Saturday and I had to shoot in the rain and I was not in that best of mood.
Yes.
So I pushed back. Yes, we did cover Petersburg.
Yeah.
We've covered every home game for Petersburg this year. Ironically, I shot the Petersburg game against Norcom, which is on my social media platform.
Yes.
I said the game was Thursday. We showed it Thursday. And then he was like, it's appointment TV. We want to see it on Friday. But again, it goes back to that. If we have 13, 14 games that played Friday, they're going to get the attention first.
Yes.
If we have extra time, we can show a game from Thursday that you missed. I said, but the game aired. You are saying that we showed no coverage of Petersburg.
Right. We just didn't show it that night.
We didn't show it that night. And I said, just because you didn't see it,
right,
doesn't mean it didn't get aired. I said, go on our page. I said, you'll see the highlights. And I said, in fact, I read the highlights.
Yeah.
As he went back and he saw it on YouTube that, it's Petersburg. I forgot it was Petersburg and Matoka, or it was Petersburg and somebody on a Thursday night.
Yeah.
He saw it, then he posted it. And then he took down his post. But I'm like,
that ball gets rolling quick when you start making assumptions and presumptions about what happened. You got to be careful.
And he ain't the first, and won't be the last.
Won't be the last. No,
but that's what I tell everybody.
Our business, though. Yeah.
I was like, just because you don't see it doesn't mean it didn't get aired.
Correct.
And that happened during football season. They talked about Virginia Union. He said he was watching the World Series. We didn't show. It was a Sunday morning. We didn't show Virginia Union. Yada yada yada. And I read him the script. I said we showed it Saturday night. You were watching the World Series.
Yeah.
The Union highlights showed, but we didn't show them Sunday morning because we don't have 6 minutes of time to fill on Sunday morning. We only got 3.
Right.
So at that point, you do have to make a choice. Of course, everybody wants to know what UVA Tech, Richmond, the big wigs did.
Yeah.
So they're going to get more of the coverage on Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
I said, again, just because you didn't see it on Sunday morning doesn't mean it didn't air at all. Right. Just because you watched the World Series and then watch a Saturday night when it aired, and I read him the word for word, my highlight sheet. And he was telling people at church it didn't get it. And I let him say everything. Stop the
rumors, man. Stop the rumors.
I sat there and I let him say everything he needed to say. And I asked him respectfully, I said, are you done? And he said, yes. I said, so you mind if I, rebut?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Told him, said everything I needed to say, read him the highlight. Because if I didn't read it, he would just think, you're just covering it up. I said, here's the script right here. And I'm reading it word for word. This person had this run, da 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 da. I said, it's on Saturday. It was on Saturday. It aired Saturday.
It reminds me of when I was at the Time Dispatch. I want to say my sports editor, Jack Berninger, at the time, he used to keep the clips of the Virginia coverage and the Virginia Tech coverage, because he would have people from both sides saying, you love Virginia or you love Virginia Tech. And he would have to put it out and say, we got 250 clips of Tech coverage. We got 250 clips of UVA coverage.
Gotta keep
it's
receipts.
Like you gotta
keep receipts, because you'll have that parent or you'll have that alum that says we don't do X, Y, and Z.
Yes.
And I'm like, are you saying we didn't cover it at all?
Right.
Or you didn't see it? I said, because that's
what you're saying.
I said, because that's two different things.
Yes.
And when he said, I didn't see it because of the World Series, and I was like, okay, we're gonna nip this in the bud real quick. I said, here's the script. This is what I read on air.
That's right.
And then I think he either, I don't know if he has social media or he was able to go on YouTube. But then when he heard it, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
That's good.
And I'm like, I said, so I want you to go back to your church.
Yeah, please.
And tell them that you made a mistake.
The disrespect's got to be.
I said that you made the mistake.
The apology got to be just as loud as the disrespect, right?
Like Michael always said, keep the enthusiasm, keep the energy. I'm like, I want you to go back to your church and I want you to tell them you made a wrong. And you need to correct it. It was like, no, Channel 6 did do it.
That's right.
And I'm like, as many people that would, if you did recognize me, I was at the game. Right. People would vouch, oh, he was there. Right. He shot it. We had the coverage.
Right.
But you didn't see it because you felt that game wasn't, that, the news wasn't important because you wanted to watch the World Series.
Right.
Well, you're going to miss something.
Exactly.
And so, I guess it's the amount of calls and emails we get about that.
Yeah.
Blows my mind.
Yeah.
But it's the nature of the beast. They want to see their kids.
That's right.
On the screen. They want to see it on social media. And I totally get it.
Yeah.
But, we can only get but so many or so much because it's just two.
Correct. Exactly.
And that's the challenge.
Good. Virginia Sports Exchange, Stephen Lewis here with Sean Robertson, WTBR, CBS6. Thoughts on the Virginia Tech hire? And we got some breaking news a little bit as well here. Got some different commitments happening here
heading
as
to
well.
Blacksburg.
That's right.
I like the hire. I don't know if I love the hire.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm assuming he will go in a looser situation, if that makes sense. He's not going to be in that pressure cooker of the Big Ten. And
we're talking James Franklin. That may be under rock at this point. Everybody knows.
Yeah, he's going to a conference that is still trying to gain more traction, is trying to gain more national respect because everybody's really worried about.
ACC is down. Yeah, man.
You look at the Big Ten, you look at the SEC, the Big 12 may have a little more.
Probably now a little more juice right now. Yeah.
With what Arizona State did in the college football playoff either last year or a couple years ago, barely losing to Texas.
Yeah.
And then, of course, obviously with the hire of Dion, so that attention went up another level in the Big 12.
Yeah.
ACC has struggled to have that consistently good team. Mm-hmm. Like Clemson did in the early, was it 2010s?
Oh, dominated.
We haven't had that team that said we're going to carry the banner of the ACC, whether it was the BCS, the playoffs, something like that. Mm-hmm. I wonder, that was my other wonder was the commitments.
Yes.
Which we are seeing now, guys that have either flipped to Tech or basically saying we're going to go because Franklin is now the head coach. Mm-hmm. The question is going to be the other thing. Can they get him? Can he get Tech over the hump?
Yeah.
Can they be now what Beamer was in the late 90s, early 2000s, consistently 9-10 wins? Mm-hmm. Now college football playoff. Just forget the bowl. We're talking now. They need to be in the college football playoff.
Yes.
What Babcock is saying, the resources will be put in to the program. Now we got to see that be delivered.
Yes.
Franklin is basically saying, this is what you promised. I'm coming here because this is what you say you're going to do for the program. We're going to see if that's going to come. But when it gets to a point, and it's probably going to happen, if Tech loses 2-3 in a row, close games, like they did with Pride, and like Franklin was doing at Penn State against top 25, or college football playoff contending teams, how will the fan base react to that? Because they wanted Pride done first year when they was losing close games. Will he have that honeymoon grace period? Or will they say, look, you brought the recruits in, we gave you big money.
Yeah.
Babcock, you say you're gonna bring the money into the program. How much hotter is Babcock's seat now? If that takes place, is he now going to be the guy that's like, hey, maybe the coach wasn't the issue, or the players weren't the issue. Maybe it's the guy that was making these hires, and making these decisions.
So that'd be interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I wish him the best. I mean, I to see these players stay in state is always big. It's selfishly for us in the media because you see these guys 4, 5, 6 years, from either from middle school or flag to now, and seeing them to succeed is always great. I hope, and I don't know how the conversations have started, if they have started. I would love to see Fontel remain there in some type of capacity.
For sure.
I don't know if
I think you have to keep him. Recruiting wise for the state and for Richmond, of course.
I talked about that last weekend during the playoffs. It's like, if you hired me, to me, one of the first calls I was going to make is Fontel.
For sure.
God, we want you here. I want you here. You have that base of the 804. I'm, building that up as well.
Yes.
I have a strong connection here too, with my ties at Penn State, and wonder if Hagens or Poindexter are going to come.
Oh,
UVA alums going to Virginia coming to Tech. So you would have 3 UVA alums on the Blacksburg side.
Yeah, it's Charlottesville might burn down.
That's a possibility. That's a possibility. But I mean, if for some reason that doesn't work out, if I'm Tony Elliott, I'm picking up my phone.
For sure.
Come home, Fontel. You had success in Blacksburg. Much respect about that. We want you to come back home. Wear those orange and blue colors again. We got something special going on.
Go ahead to UVA. We talk about even coverage. Talk Tech, talk UVA, man.
I mean,
terrific year.
And to give him the grace period as well, given the tragedy he had to, overcome.
That's right.
The head coach seeing 3 of your players be tragically killed by a teammate, essentially.
Yeah.
And you had to basically build this up again. I won't say from scratch, but it was darn near close from scratch. Guys leaving. The play wasn't that great. But I think Carla Williams, and a lot of people are not fond of her, but I think she put her money where her mouth is, literally, and put the resources into that program to say, we want you to succeed. We're doing everything in our power for you to succeed here at UVA. The new indoor facility, amazing. The money in the NIL, the donors putting in $5-10 million to the program, and getting those guys to come to the program, however much you're spending.
Yeah.
It seemed like he was hidden. The home run was Chandler, getting him to come from North Texas.
Yes.
And
who knew he was going to be this good? He is really good.
I mean, he struck out. Yes. Can take the hit. He got banged up a couple times this year. And hopefully, moving forward, he takes fewer hits like that.
Yeah.
But to me, without him, they're not nowhere near the ACC title game. And then he said this to me in the summer. I think he may have said it when he first got hired. My goal was to win the recruiting battle in Virginia. He has, I think, 13 players from the 804 on this year's roster, either by recruiting them from high school or transferring in from Wallace, Walker Wallace.
St. Chris, baby.
He wanted to play lacrosse. Switched. Okay, I'm gonna play football. A kid from Henrico that was at JMU has transferred. Ethan Mentor,
Thomas Dale.
He had
Andre Green is there.
Andre Green,
the other guys that got in, I guess,
that was
better. So
I mean,
they're getting more reps. So I mean,
So I mean, kudos to him. I mean, he should be ACC Coach of the Year. If he does it, that's a travesty.
Oh, for sure.
That's a travesty. If he's not, hopefully he is. But I mean, he hit not singles. He was hitting home runs
for sure
with the guys he brought in this year. And like I said, if for some reason it doesn't work out with Fontel and James Franklin, I mean, you got a solid staff right now. But to get a guy and to strengthen the recruiting, I mean, that's a home run for you, and you're taking away a key recruiting asset from Tech.
That's going to be something to watch. We got to keep an eye on that.
Yes, that's the first. And I said that before Pry had got let go. Like if one of these guys are going to struggle and one might be removed, you got to call Fontel.
For sure.
And I was surprised he didn't get the interim job. But instead, they went with Montgomery, who you just brought in.
Do you think if you put him at interim, it just puts a little too much light on him for other people, like knowing, like, oh, this guy?
No, I think it would to me, spotlight. I mean, he would have the help. But it does put him on that platform to see, okay, can he succeed at that level? Can he be a good head coach? Whether it's here or somewhere else. We know he's a great recruiter, and that's part of it. But if he's not that strong with the X's and O's, that's why you lean on your OC.
Yep.
I know he was
tight end receivers coach.
Yeah.
Receivers coach.
So he has the knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
It's the whole thing was he wasn't a coordinator, but sometimes you don't have. To me, I don't think you have to be a coordinator to be a head coach. If you're a leader of men, if you can galvanize a group, if you can recruit, whether it's the player or the donors, because that's the other thing now. You've got to recruit these. You got to recruit them people to put in the money to build your program back up. I think he would have been I thought he would have been a home run hit. I really do.
What do you think happens Saturday? Is it Saturday? ACC title game?
I think Virginia wins. I think they have the confidence of knowing you beat Duke once before.
Yep.
Duke is probably going to throw the kitchen sink at UVA, do some things differently.
Yeah.
But I think if Chandler
tricky Duke,
yeah, you don't. And that'd be the other thing. UNC. You don't want to be that conference going in if you're going to make the playoff and say, "Hey, we got a 5. Our conference is represented by a team that's got 5 losses." That is not going to look good.
It's not going to look good.
Then there's going to be that stigma from the national media. Virginia's got to win. Morris has got to have a good game. He probably might be player of the year in the ACC.
That's unreal.
Man, they just got to continue to do what they do. Not make the big mistake. And just rely on the strengths that they've done. The solid play defensively. You got Jamal Taylor, a great addition that came from Central and HBCU. He had 1,000 yards with the Eagles.
Yep.
Like I said, the moves he made, the transfer hits, getting Morris and putting that money in there, that was big. So to me, I think UVA should win this game and they should be in the playoff. And who knows? You get in the playoff, all you need is a chance. And think, you have that momentum. They got a good shot. Now, whether they can go deep, don't know. Can they win a game?
Yeah.
I think they can get a game.
Depends on matchups.
Yeah, I think they can get a game. And playing on the road, they may like playing on the road better than playing in Charlottesville.
For sure.
It's just them. It's those, 60, 70 guys, and those coaches against everybody else that think, they ain't got a shot because they're from the ACC.
Yeah.
I think they got a shot. I saw them against William and Mary. We followed them all year. They've got the talent to compete.
Sure.
Just, the Robinson injury is a big one.
Yeah.
The kid from Essex, that's a big one. But they cannot lose Morris. If they lose him, if they lose him, that probably will shoot their chances down.
Virginia Sports Exchange, Stephen Lewis here with Sean Robertson, CBS6. We're on the Mike King Biz Radio Network and ESPN Richmond. I'm gonna get you out of here with this one. Obviously a great sportscaster. Some people might not know you do some play-by-play as well.
A little bit. So my second life.
So kind of talk about that. How do you enjoy it? Is it, how did that come about?
Oh, I love it. Well, that obviously started at State with the radio station. That was like my thing. Growing up, that's all I wanted to do was play-by-play.
Yeah.
I did not want to be an anchor. Did not. And I will tell this story did not want to be an anchor. All I wanted to do was play-by-play. And my goal was, growing up, I wanted to be the first Black to call a Super Bowl.
Oh, man.
First Black play-by-play guy to call a Super Bowl. Man. Greg Gumbel, God rest him. So he got that. Took that from me too. But I wanted to be that guy on that stage calling the biggest sporting event there was. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but who knows? But I've always wanted to do that. Just, being either in the booth or being courtside and just feeling the energy on a big play and just to call it as it happens.
Mm-hmm.
And whether, those in the stands, they obviously can't listen, but just, maybe the feedback when you're done, when you're around town, oh man, that was a great call.
Yeah.
Oh, I could feel your energy. You made me feel like I was a part of it. When I would get that from radio, I'm like, that's the best compliment you can get.
No
when
question.
Somebody is driving and they said, I felt like I was at the game, or if I closed my eyes, I could literally see what you were describing. I'm like, that's the best compliment anybody can get for radio is that.
Yeah.
But just have that feel of, calling a game on TV. So it was COVID again. VCU was doing a pregame show because of course they only could have 250 fans in the Siegel Center, because that was their cap for COVID.
Dang.
So that broke the long streak of consecutive sellouts at the Siegel Center. So Robbie Robinson.
That shouldn't even count. Come on, man.
I'm trying to think. Did it count? I gotta look. You know what? I have to look back at their game.
I wouldn't even count it.
They may not have. I think if the sellout was 250 and it hit 250,
oh, there we go. Yeah,
I think they count.
Right.
I'll double check that.
That's still a sellout.
I'll double check that to see if they did count that.
Yeah.
But he was they wanted to, I guess keep the fans who couldn't come to be a part of it. So he was like, well, since you're going to be here, would you mind, being the host? I'm like, yeah. I was like, I had never done it before, so what are we doing? He was like, you'll either talk to our radio analyst, or we'll bring like the beat reporter from the Times-Dispatch, who was at the time, that was Wayne Epps before he left.
Man, Wayne was awesome.
And some alums from the basketball team, maybe Ed or the TV analyst. I think one year we had John Feinstein before he passed. He came on to do a couple shows. So that was again how I got my foot in the door.
Yep.
And we did that for, I want to say, 2 years. And then Robbie asked me if I was interested in doing a game. And he said, you'll be an analyst with, I think it was Scott Jackson. We did one game in 2022.
Okay.
So we did that, still with the mask. We're wearing the mask, so that looked awkward. Looking back, I'm looking at that picture, like, God, that looks awkward. We called a game with a mask on. I was like, it didn't feel right. But neither here nor there. So then the next year, they worked a relationship with Stephen Hayes, our general manager at CBS6, to air one of their games on our network, on our channel.
Okay.
And so he said, are you interested in doing play-by-play? And I was like, absolutely, I am. And he said, well, you're going to do, I want to say it was Duquesne. It was a Duquesne game of 2023, I believe. And it was on our air. I'm like, oh, okay. So, but that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one game went to, I think, 3 or 4. And then Scott took his commitments. He had commitments with Old Dominion and the Commanders. So he went with that. And then he got a full-time radio job with a station in Norfolk. So he kind of left because he was, I guess, their TV voice for VCU. So once he left, then they gave me more games. So I had like the majority of the games. It wasn't all of them because some of them conflicted with high school football.
Right.
And I said, well, I can't do the games in November on Fridays because, my Channel 6 commitments.
Yep.
So, went from like 4 to 5. I think last year I did 6 or 7. This year I will do 8. The only game I'm missing is on a vacation. They play Ryder, and that game is actually on 6. And that's the one I'm going to miss.
Oh, okay.
So this year is 8 of the 9. So yeah, we do all of the in-house produced games that air on Masson and also on ESPN Plus. So I get to do 8 of their games.
Excellent. Well, we definitely love watching you. Final Score Friday, when you're doing the play-by-play, man, do an excellent job. So
appreciate that.
Definitely appreciate you joining us. And last thing, that video sure looks familiar. I think that's one of your favorite things on social. You gotta give my guy, come on, man, where'd you get that video from, right?
Yeah, I'm
looking. I got some credit.
I'm looking at it. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, God, I'm like. And it's like, and I sometimes now I lengthen the highlights because I guess I was able to get the blue check or something like that gives you
longer.
You're able to put longer clips. And I'm like, well, if that's the case, I'll just make them longer. So if you watch our show, you may only see like 30 seconds.
But you got
you get 45 seconds. And I said, well, I said, well, I always call it the disco version. So you can watch that. And so you'll see some plays that that wouldn't make air.
Yeah.
You get them. So you'll see maybe like a big tackle or interception we couldn't show. And then, some of the guys or their parents will clip it, or a coach will clip it.
Yeah.
And then we'll say, my guy, such and such,
Yeah.
He's a 2026 class. Da, da, da. I'm like, God, that look clip.
Clip really look familiar.
Yeah. And then I do the eyes, and I always do haha.
Yeah.
And then I'll get the comments about, you don't miss a beat and da 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 da. And I got that actually from a guy. His name is Greg. I don't know but he would take pictures, and they would do that with him.
Yeah.
That he would, whether it was a high school or a college or university, they would take the picture and put it on their platform and wouldn't give them credit.
Yeah.
And so we were talking about it one day, and I was like, yeah, that's happened to me too. I was like, and so I just said, well, let me just do this to see the reaction. I'm making a joke. I'm like, can we get some? Because it's,
That's right.
So I forgot who it was. I know it was a high school player. And I just said, and I looked at that clip. I'm like, now that's me. I can see it. And I said, great, always give him credit or her credit. It's a great looking clip. Great play, great action.
Just,
man, that looks vaguely familiar. Looks vaguely familiar. Oh yeah, and I still do it. They still do it now. It's like a compliment. We'll take it as a compliment.
Yeah, for sure.
But just tag us. They did that with Verona Hollis Springs, Bull Richardson, the UVA commit.
Monster defensive tackle.
If he ain't class force, I'm sorry. If he's not state defensive player of the year or he can make a case for a Gatorade.
Yeah, they continue. Go ahead.
Either him or Darius.
Yeah,
but I mean,
business. Yeah.
But one of them, I mean, you can make a strong case for either one of those guys being Gatorade. I mean, they did set a precedent with Gilliam during the shortened season. They made him a Gatorade defensive state player of the year for what he did.
I'm biased, so
I know. And Darius plays both ways.
Goodness gracious.
He can wreck a game, and Bull can wreck a game.
Yes.
It would have been fun to watch them.
Yeah.
If that had worked out with you guys, St. Chris and Verona play, and then him on the O-line against Bull.
Yeah.
But we'll never know.
Hopefully at some point we'll see him in
because South Carolina UVA, let's make that happen.
That's right.
Make that agreement happen.
That's right.
But yeah, that would have been you can make a case for either one of those guys. But the way Bull can almost single-handedly wreck a game plan.
Yeah.
And his play helps out everybody else.
Yeah.
Helps out the Baskerville brothers.
For sure.
Hood.
Just frees up everybody.
The secondary. I mean, you can be, I won't say a little more aggressive on that backside because I only need to rush forward.
Just gotta get that ball out.
I only need to rush forward. With those guys up front, man, that's
for sure.
Man, that's probably one of the top front sevens in all of the state. Just how they and fast. That's the other thing. They're not aggressive and slow.
Yes.
These guys are aggressive and fast, and they like multiple guys.
Yeah.
Get to the ball. But the question you were saying about what was the last one that you
you mean just giving the credit for the video?
Oh yeah, the credit for the video. Yeah. I'm talking about Bull.
Yeah.
And he made a strip, and they said the same thing, and then I said the same thing. Man, that's a great fumble for us by Bull. God, that play looks vaguely familiar. Turn around, they tagged me on it.
There you go.
So I'm like, okay, just do that.
Hey, guys, just give my man some credit here. He's been doing it for 18 years now.
I feel old.
Give him some credit when you take the play from him, man.
It ain't hard. It ain't hard.
Tag my man.
You just do the app.
That's
the
right.
At and just go with it.
Tag my man on that.
That's all. Then I can stop doing that. I mean,
That's right.
It's funny and everybody get a kick out of it. And they understand. I mean, that's all.
In all seriousness, we should give credit for, it's property really of, video, photos. It's all, done or authored by somebody.
Because if we have done that, if we do it, and first thing we do is we ask.
You have to.
Can we get permission? Can we use it?
Who shot it? Yeah. And
we give you the courtesy.
Yes.
That's what we do. And I will pull it off of Twitter or you send it to us.
Yeah.
If we can't get there, pictures.
That's right.
We'll do the courtesy St. Chris. If we can't get there, can you send us some pictures?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to do that with Darius tomorrow. I had to see. But yeah, we don't mind. I mean, it's almost say common ground, or what's the word I'm looking for? Mandatory.
Yeah.
That we have to, say courtesy of, the family member, the player itself, the school.
Gotta let everybody know.
That's what we want to do. Is now
right.
We're not doing it. We can't take credit for it if we're not there. So we want to give them the credit that say, hey, they took the time to go to this school or go to this event to shoot it, and
right.
allowing us to show it on their behalf.
Yep.
They get the enjoyment of seeing it, and we get the help of, we couldn't get there,
but we have it.
But we have it.
That's right.
Yep.
All right. Well, Sean Robertson, man, thank you so much for joining us in the
Man,
Sports
this was a
Exchange.
pleasure.
I
It still felt weird.
I know it's different being
questions
on
from
the
you.
other side.
Man,
We'd like to have you back another time.
Sounds good.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
But that's another episode in the books. Virginia Sports Exchange, Mike King Biz Radio Network, ESPN Richmond. I'm Stephen Lewis. We'll see you next time.